Crash Course Live is presented by Smash It Demolition Derbies and the 2016 Bash for Cash. Demo Derby Masters. Winter Slam 2016. Ultimate Derby and Blizzard Bash and Capital City Carnage. Syopa Racing and SyopaRacing.com. Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel at RecklessAbandonGear.com. And Derby Inc. Magazine. Live it, breathe it, be it, Derby Inc. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now your host, Chris Marquardt.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Capital City Carnage. A formal welcome to everybody. The day that we've been waiting for since the start of the year to get back here in Topeka. Excited to be here. Chris Marquardt with Crash Course Podcast. Brian joining me at the table. Pizza now being served in the vendors area. It has been a long and difficult day for the folks that are here. Going through tech inspection, been a long and challenging day for us just simply trying to get here. Starting with Sunday night, they began canceling the flights. And the flights continue to be canceled straight through the 40 inches of snow that fell on New York. And we finally got out of town this morning. We then made it to Orlando, where we were delayed for about an hour. We made it here with about 20 minutes to spare, but nonetheless, we are here anticipating the start of heat draws. I know right off the top, one of the biggest topics that's going on out in the pit area at this point is the fact that Jimmy Johnson's list is about as long as 70 West that we drove in on.
Yeah, I heard a rumor that he had a couple of things he had to adjust, so we'll see how that goes and get back through and ready for inspection. But yeah, we had quite the fun time coming here.
It was a trip. It was a trip, no question. But
I've decided that I like to sit next to a window with it open, so as we touch the earth, I know what's going on when we come down out of the sky.
Josh got jolted back to reality when we touched down, but. Yeah, so let's take you through first what we're going to be seeing this evening right off the top. We're going to be doing the heat draws. Probably one of the most anticipated parts of our trips to Topeka are walking through the heat draws and finding out who's going to be seated with who. Projected there was going to be 10 heats tomorrow, 100 cars in competition for the limited well division. The ramps behind us right now pretty quiet. The atmosphere here pretty calm. Seems like everything has gone pretty smooth in terms of tomorrow's program. That was going to be all of the qualifying heats. All 10 qualifying heats are going to go off for the limited world cars, and that's it. Action beginning at 7 o'clock. You can jump online and find the pay-per-view. If you can't get it here, there's still tickets available. If you can't get here, you can always watch it at home on DerbyNation.tv. You also have until noon tomorrow to get your fantasy teams in. Also, you can make edits as we walk through the weekend and find out who's in, who's not, and who's decided not to finish their cars. Friday's card, as we talked about, 7 o'clock start time for the limited world heats. Only 2 advancing out of that. Running through, it's going to be tough, right? 10 cars on the track, 2 advancing. They're going to have about an extra 40 feet to work with out there as well. Saturday is the double program. We're going to be crowning championships late Saturday, but before that, 10 o'clock, we have event number 2, limited world consolation rounds. Those are going to be 5 of those, only 2 advancing out of each of those. And then the compact feature, repair time for the limited world cars between 9 and 3, and then the extreme 2-man modified and limited world finals going live on the track at 7 o'clock. Brian, I know we've talked a little bit about some of the action that we're going to see on the track and some of the drivers we're anxious to see. Right now, it seems like most of the buzz is around that 2-man extreme class.
Yeah, absolutely. There's we got here and Ben had went out and parked the car and bumped into somebody who's going to be running the Cordoba. So we're definitely really looking forward to that. It's going to be neat to see how it turns out, and going to be a good time.
Hey, look, Josh Decker decided to join us. Where have you been?
Signing autographs.
No one said we had to be on.
Get that over.
No, don't touch me.
Come on. You're a rookie. You're a novice.
Ben and I were looking at Chrysler products.
Yeah? Did you see anything good out there?
No comment.
No?
Oh, I saw a good sub.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Anything you're going to drive?
No.
No. Not that good?
No, not that good.
Wow, that's pretty arrogant to say.
I see 1,000 pizzas and the smell of it's really making me hungry.
I thought you already went over there and ate.
Nope.
No, not yet?
I'm being good.
So we're talking.
Josh is getting one delivered to him personally.
Yes, please.
Duncan Cram checking in. He's wanting to be out here. I know Brad Witt listening at home in Iowa. He's anxious to get back out here for Blizzard Bash. He's going to be coming down. And wanted me to reiterate that he is newly single.
Who's this?
Brad Witt.
Oh, wow.
And he's been going to the gym, if anybody's interested in Brad Witt. Crash Course Dating Service, of course.
It'll be $49.99, Brad.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Kickbacks. We talked a little bit about the challenges with our travel today.
Understatement. I left my house at 5 a.m.
Eastern
try.
Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time.
With no promise that plane was taken off.
No, we drove 3.5 hours to the airport. Then we flew to Florida. Then to Kansas. I'm not sure who set that up, Chris, but it was a horrible choice.
We were more victims than decision makers there.
It was weird that Florida was colder than here. That was odd to me. I thought Florida would be 80 degrees. It was 40.
It was a little strange to see the sun.
Yeah,
We get out well, we flew into St. Louis. We get out there and it's 66 degrees. That was not hard to take.
No, it's
after
nice.
leaving New York where it was 17 with 4 foot of snow.
Definitely.
But
I don't know what I ever did with my phone.
I wouldn't worry about
Is
it.
it still in the car?
Hopefully.
Trying to find everything here so that we can talk a little bit about our fantasy league. Again, the fantasy league, you can still get in on the fantasy league up until about noon tomorrow, noon Central Time, which is the local time here. So as more information trickles out on Facebook about who's in and who's out, and we get official updates from here in terms of the drivers roster, you still have a chance to fix it. But the one thing about the fixing of your fantasy league is everything's automated now, so there's a timestamp. So we know exactly when your team came in. So let's say that you and 3 other people put in absolutely identical teams from your limited world drivers right down through your tiebreakers. The first name that came through that got it right is going to be your winner. Simple
Right.
as that. But if you went through and you modified your team, so now that there's 4 people that have the same team, but you gave up your spot in line, you went back down to the bottom of the list. So if you edited your team, you gave up your spot in line to get that correct combination. So you got to make sure you play your cards right. Don Santel, still the top pick, but he's already posted a couple times that he's not going to be here. Jimmy Johnson, he's got a long list of things to work on in his own right. Jason Dials, I don't think he's going to make it.
He's
at
not
this
even in the
point.
state, I don't think.
I saw Teddy Papadopoulos wandering around here a little bit earlier. There's Teddy right there.
So Teddy's the top pick right now, right?
At this point,
Yeah.
Teddy. Hang on, let me get.
Yeah, there he goes.
Right there.
Teddy, you're on live. You guys are on.
We got an extra headset. Teddy, you want to come and talk about it? I didn't think so. Rob Hoyer, Fetro, Lance Pritchett, Zach Ponzer, all great picks. Justin Montgomery, all stacked in right there together. And from there, it drops down quick. You're looking at no more than 35 teams. For any of the drivers on the list, the balance of that 100-name roster, which is, I mean, it's a wide range right there.
The thing about this fantasy league that's kind of it's a double-edged sword for a lot of these drivers, because let's be honest, we all want to be the number 1 pick, right? Well, the negative side of that is that means everybody else on that track knows that you're the number 1 pick, and everyone loves junking the top dog, right? I mean, the higher you are in the picks, you got to assume it puts a target on your. Some of these guys are going to have targets on them.
Oh, absolutely. Tell us what that's like, Josh.
It's fun.
So
Ben and I are definitely going to have targets on ours.
2-man extreme. You ready for that?
Yeah, go.
Two-man extreme. Are you ready for that?
Yeah.
We'll get into the picks in this.
I'm ready right now.
You're gonna go right now.
I'd like to drive my car first.
That's overrated.
I'm just steering wheel. I can't really screw that up.
Well, you could.
Yes, you can. You can drive yourself right
I
up
don't
onto the
think
berm,
so.
sir.
No, you really
Don't-
should do something
don't jinx
spectacular to
me.
get on top of those
Which
berms.
we have seen you do.
Yeah, no, don't jinx me.
Oh boy, you thought that
I
ghost was
haven't been on the
dead.
wall in a few years.
Hartford, right?
Yeah,
It was Hartford Fair.
that's a long time.
It was a long time.
I was on a wall once. I just kept driving over it.
That was awesome.
That did happen.
I was going nuts for you that night.
First time I ever had a Magnum.
It was screaming.
Well, the class drivers, we've already got a change here. Ryan Songaluski, as I understand it, is he is here.
I don't know.
Oh,
that.
we don't know yet. Okay, so Ryan right now is the top pick for the Wild Class. C.J. Barnes behind him. Sam Bandel picked on 21% of the teams. 95 different teams picking him. Mason Larson, great
Good
pick
choice,
right there.
yeah.
Great pick. He's
Yeah,
hot
definitely.
in Kansas. Real hot. He's won a couple. He ran the table in youth class last year, didn't
Yes,
he?
yeah.
He won Capital City Carnage, and then he won the youth class at Blizzard Bash as well. Jesse Ravitch, Brad Tice behind him. Daniel Ort, Shane Larson, Speck Harrington, and Nick Farrick, Eric Floyd. All of those drivers picked on at least 10 different teams. Kevin Sargison not picked on only one.
The modified class is going to be awesome. I think
Oh,
this
yeah.
weekend it's going to be. I mean, every one of those guys will be concussioned out, but it's going to be a great heat. I mean,
Just
just
all that extra space.
oh man, dude, the track is huge. There are only 20 cars in that division,
Yeah.
And majority of them are pre-Blizzard Bash ran cars with all the fix-it plates.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, no, they're just going to be dumb hard up front. And we do know that a bunch of drivers in the modified heat have already told us they're only going out there to junk stuff. They just want to push those cars to the limit to see where they're bending, even with all the fix-it plates. So I think that is going to be one of the divisions to watch.
Oh, absolutely.
I think they're going to say go, and it's going to be flat footing.
Oh, absolutely.
It's going to be flat footing.
Without a doubt.
Would you expect anything less here?
No. But I'll tell you, when you get out there and that track's that extra 40 foot long, I don't know. It's somewhat intimidating out there.
Longer.
Yeah, it's intimidating out there. It's a big track, man. Especially with cars that hard.
Big happy birthday wishes out to Mark Klein, who had his birthday earlier this week. George Hineout celebrating his birthday today. You were talking about that extra length at the end of the track. They pulled the catwalk out from the backside, which gave them a ton more room to work with, which also is going to play well in the long run because now we're going to have more room to put more cars out there when we get out there for the main class here tonight. And also, with a short count out there, when you only have maybe 15, 20 cars, you have a ton of room to work with.
With heats of 10 tomorrow night, heats of 10, right?
Yeah.
Heats of 10 on the old track size would have been
huge.
Tons of room and huge. But now to extend it, these guys are going to have more than ample room to be doing laps on each other. You know, I anticipate seeing
it
some.
It might go to Utah style. I might have to run laps
It would be
to
awesome.
pick them out.
Sometimes you just got to get out of trouble. You know, you just go do a big sweep and come back into it.
Wide open.
That track's going to be big enough for it. You can get away from everybody and come right back in.
Compact drivers, couple names that we've come to be very familiar with. Shea Ford right on top, 130 different picks.
Great choice.
He's on 38% of the teams. Kevin Ullman, Scott Mulder, Ralph and RJ right in behind him. Nick Austin, Ian Adkins, all of them picked on more than 40 teams. Charlie Leisinger also picked on more than 40 teams. That gives him 12% of the teams. He's on those. But Shea Ford, big pick. If he was here, would you say that Randy Moslowski would be one to pick in this thing?
Absolutely.
So we've seen Kevin Ullman do some awesome things here. We've seen Scott Mulder do some cool things here.
Yes.
So I'm excited to watch the compacts. Again, the compacts, we talked about what we were going to see on the agenda. They are running Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, so we'll be watching closely with those and bringing it back around to the two-man extreme class. 26% of the teams have picked you and Ben.
Not
Behind
smart.
that, Kenny Rosno and Kyle Kortz. 19% of the teams, Ben Plate and Ryan Oldham. Jeff Houghton, Chris Bender behind them on 6% of the teams. And then from there, it's a crapshoot. It is a wide mix. But safe to assume that these guys down here that are on 2, 3, 4 different teams, they're going to be going after you.
I don't expect anything less. We'll have a good time. We're out there to have fun. I mean, Ben and I are going to junk old Chrysler and get out and smile. You know, I don't care if we get tagged on or what.
So, come to find out, it's a 1965 Newport, and I've done a 1968 because you didn't pay attention to the pictures that they sent you. Does that change how you tell Ben to drive the car?
No, not at all.
No?
The only thing different with it is one motor mount.
Do you tell Ben how to drive the car at all?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Oh, you did? Or did you listen to him talk?
No, we
Probably
actually
wiser to listen to him.
No, him and I's game plan is identical. Identical. Wide open, as many people as you could hit. I want to try to roll somebody, break some stuff. Might even be my own nose. I don't even care.
Don't do that again. That thing's big enough.
I kept saying, no, and it's bent. I told Ben he can't drive hard enough to scare me. So, hey, can you, Ben? I'm going to find out. Everyone at home is going to find out, too, because you're going to see me when I get out of the car. If I'm shaking and punch drunk, you know he did a good job.
When's the last time you were punch drunk after a derby?
It would have been Capital City Carnage.
No.
It would have been Capital City Carnage when you got slapped, I think, right?
Oh, yeah, by him? Yeah, when you slapped me, yeah.
That wasn't funny.
No. Minnesota was the last time I come out comatose.
That was...
In Bird Island.
When you talk... Oh, right. I didn't even think about that. That wasn't even the time I was thinking about it. I was thinking about when you had the red Lincoln. The first time you ran in Minnesota, and everybody just like... Oh.
No, that one wasn't as bad.
And when you took your helmet off, your hair was still gelled, but it was steaming. It had steam, and you didn't know where you were. You were looking at lights, talking to them. You didn't know where you were, what you were doing.
Nah,
you were lost.
Nah, Bird Island was way worse because my whole back and kidneys were black and blue. I couldn't take full deep breaths, and I was concussed, and I caught on fire that night. My jeans were on fire. It was a rough night for me.
In the fire?
My old lady was not happy.
She didn't think that was a good time, huh?
Yeah. She was crying by the time I got to her.
Really?
Yeah, my legs were on fire and my hands. She didn't like it.
I know why she started to cry too. Because I went over and put my arm around her like this, and I said, on the plus side, he didn't die.
That's why she doesn't like you.
She doesn't. She doesn't. She's unfriended me and refriended me and then unfriended me like 6 times.
A lot
Mostly
of people
because
do
of the
that.
dumb stuff. Mostly because of the dumb stuff that I say. So you had to check a cable shifter, right?
Yeah, and helmets.
And helmets. When was the last time you had to do that?
I don't know. TSA didn't complain about it. They got here.
No.
If you look through the bag,
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they went through.
TSA doesn't like cable shifters, everyone. Don't put cable shifters in your bag.
Yeah, they definitely went through it. That's the first thing Ben said. I grabbed it off the circle. Ben, I sat down. Ben goes, "Yep, they went through that bag." So
That bag was heavy, though.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
was
I'm
just
sure they
maybe
wondered
that.
what was in it. Now, Ben and I are excited. You know, he calls me and he goes, "You gonna take your neck brace?" Nah. You? I'm like, nah. You think we should? Probably.
do you own a neck brace?
No.
I don't think so.
We don't run cars hard enough.
It's true. He doesn't drive.
You got one? Yeah, Ben's getting old.
Well, the class you're in, the car should
He
be
needs
meant
it,
to be
though,
for the
because it's going to be tough for both people to look backwards.
people. Yeah.
I got to put my hand over to look backwards. So there's going to be some times he's just going to be taking the shot. You're not even going to see it. He's going to need a neck brace,
I don't think so,
right?
because I don't think you guys will sit still long enough to get knocked out of your seats. I think people are going to be after you quick, so they're not going to be able to get to you. But then if you guys get free, I don't see you sitting still long enough.
No.
And that's when you get knocked out of your seats, when you're sitting still.
True.
So
True.
I think you guys will be all right.
Ben says he's not going to take his foot off the gas.
Just shift.
Just shift it.
Wow, that's awesome.
Dial's okayed it.
Yeah.
Dial's okayed it.
What transmission's in that?
It's 727. It'll be fine.
It's not a 904.
No.
Because I saw what happens when you put 904s in cars.
No, you said that wrong. Jerry put the 904 in the car.
That's very true. Well,
Jerry put the 904 in
definitely
the car.
overstepped my bounds there.
Ben blew it up pretty quickly.
Yes. They can't take the abuse.
No.
Now, did I hear right that there's one of the guys is running a stick shift, right?
Standard. In a Carnage. In what's it called? Extreme Division? Yeah, it's Ben Plate.
Ben Plate. So,
Which Ben Plate should really, in my opinion, Ben Plate should be the leader of that division. The two-man team, in my opinion, Ben Plate's probably the team, the
To
group.
beat?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Rosnell's going to be just as good. Rosnell's team will be tough to beat too, but
but I mean, what's that do mentally when you're in there? Because you're pre-programmed with your shifters and everything. It's not the same as just throwing drive, reverse, drive, reverse, drive, reverse. You're having to select and everything. Unless that shifter's on your right side, you're not used to doing that
no, the
sequence.
driver is going to be shifting.
Oh, they're going to do it that way.
Yeah.
Looks like Sam Williams is high on top of his perch, just about ready to. That's fine. High atop his perch to start off. Look at, he's looming over us.
Sam, can you see us down here?
So we're going to turn it over to Sam here so that he can get going with the formal driver draws.
All right. Hi, everybody. Hey, welcome to Capital Carnage 2017. This is our second year being here in Topeka, Kansas for Capital Carnage. Again, this event was asked for by Visit Topeka, the Kansas Expocentre, SMG Management, to help out Topeka. And you guys have supported it amazingly, and we thank you for that. We're going to have roughly 200 cars here, which is awesome for a second year event.
Pull down.
I am going to introduce Les Crooks real quick here. Les Crooks is the interim general manager for the Kansas Expocentre here in SMG Management. And he just wants to say a few things to you guys real quick, and we'll get back to business here.
Guys, welcome. Really happy to have you here at the Expocentre. Really happy to have you here at Topeka. Welcome to our home, your home away from home for the next couple of days. Enjoy yourselves, have fun, meet hard, take care of the lady. Have a good night.
way. Where are Tim and Russ Clark at? There they are. Okay. For those of you that do not know Tim and Russ Clark from Smash It, these are the gentlemen who have bought out all of our big arena shows. These guys here are going to be in charge of Blizzard Bash 2017. Ultimate Derby will be here to co-promote with them. We will help them manage the Blizzard Bash, and we will get through Blizzard Bash together, so it's completely seamless. 18, 19, and 20, it's their baby. I would say it's probably 85–90% chance Capital City Carnage is going to continue to go on. We're working through all the details. We've had multiple meetings today, working through all the details with SMD Management, Kansas Expocentre, everybody here that we need to work through the details with Tim and Russ. So, you know what? I will be done no matter what at the end of 17 for family time. So, I want everybody to give these guys a big round of applause for taking this thing over and keeping Blizzard Bash show going. This has been our absolute baby for the last 10 years. We feel like we're at home in this building. And I tell you what, I'm so happy that we couldn't turn it over to better guys. So guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart for keeping it going. And I guarantee you, it's going to be as seamless as we can make it. Same tech, same people. Little Miss Candace isn't going nowhere, so we're good to go. So, a couple things about this show. Let's go over quick housekeeping things here, then we'll draw the heats, because I know once I draw the heats, you're all bailing anyways. Repair times. Let's go through the heats, how the heats are going to go. We have 78 cars actually have either made inspection, gone through inspection, or have called ahead. And if we have two drivers who, if they are not at the door by 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, they will just scratch out of their heat. So we're going to draw them in. They've called ahead. Both of them major motor problems, and they're changing motors today. They're both on the road, and we've talked to them, and they are headed this direction. So outside of a truck blowing up, which I think somebody had a truck blow up, bought a new truck in Sioux Falls or something today, outside of that, they're going to be here. So we're going to draw them into the heat. So we have 78 cars, so here's how it's going to go. Heats 1 through 8 are going to have 8 cars in it. Heats 9 and 10 will have 7 cars in it. We are taking 2. The consies, we will meet back in here at 9 a.m. on Saturday morning. And again, we'll go over all this tomorrow night again. But at 9 a.m. we will meet back in here. We are redrawing the consies, so you don't have to run against the same people you just ran against. You may have to, but it's back to a draw again. If you got into a big brawl with a couple buddies, and you don't want to have to necessarily do that all over again. So we're going to try to make this fair again. We're going to redraw the consies. How the consies are going to go? Consies 1 through 4 will have 12 cars in it. Consies 5 will have 10 cars in it, because we're combining all the heats. So basically we're combining 2 heats into 1, winners in advance. If you win your heat, so you're in the top 2 of heats 1 through 10, immediately after the show, put your car in Domer Arena. Do not take it back to your pits. Do not work on it. Drive it in there, steer, whatever you got to do. I don't care what order they're in. We only got 20 of them going in there. Just stuff them in the barn. We'll worry about it in the morning, okay? Put them away. Immediately after that, please don't make us come looking for you. Immediately after, you want it after the show or after each heat? After the show Friday night, please, if you advance, come in here. Candace wants to shoot a short video with every driver. I promise you it will be worth it on Saturday night, and you don't want to be left out of it. Okay? We are trying a lot of cool stuff in that arena for Saturday night for the finals. I promise you, you're going to feel like a champion when you go out on that track. So again, we'll give you way more details as the weekend goes on. But if you qualify tomorrow night, get your car put away, we'll end the show. I expect 20 drivers in this building. After that, please don't make us come find you. Trust me, it'll be worth it. If you do not qualify, so you are the top 2 have qualified, you do not qualify. From the time the last car is pulled off the track, you work on your car until the last car comes off the track. The minute the last car comes off the track, you have 5 hours starting right then. We'll tell you all, we'll go around and tell you all what time it is. You have 5 hours to work through the night to get your car back together. So let's say it's midnight.
After your heat or
It's for the event. From the last car coming off of the event, Friday night, if you did not make the concert, all 58 of you start at the same time. I'm not going to try to keep track of what time your heat ended, okay? So then what we're going to do, this open air barn has been completely left open. So let's, because I'm a simple person and I use simple math, let's say we end the show at midnight. We're going to come around and tell you at 5 o'clock in the morning, you have to have your cars put away. And again, if we end at 11:50, we're going to say we ended at midnight, just so everybody has simple math of watching the time. Okay, we're going to make it as easy as we can. Try to get it to a half hour, an hour mark. Okay, if at 5 o'clock's a cutoff, that gate to that open air barn with the Expo Center security will be shut at 5:01. There are zero excuses. Okay, if your car is not back in that barn at 5:01, there's nothing I can do about it. Okay, everybody clear on that? You have 5 hours, period. If you have a problem, come find the techs right away. Everyone in their package should have got repair instructions on how to repair your car.
What if you have a major malfunction, lose a motor, can you call ahead?
When you call ahead,
Can you call ahead?
No, you gotta phone a friend.
phone a friend.
Phone a friend.
You only get to use 2 lifelines throughout the night. Phone lots of friends. So again, the worst thing that we have, and we get, it is the worst thing we have to do, is at 4:55 when somebody comes up and says, I can't get my tires on, come get me with a skid loader. Well, there's nothing we can do about it, okay? Don't put my techs in that spot, and trust me, I will be the one to shut that gate at 5 o'clock. Me and Kenny, and probably Austin, will be cruising around all night long, Friday night, to make sure that if you have any questions, we're right here for you. Again, it's going to be chilly Friday night. Be prepared for it because you will be outdoors. Any questions on repair times? If you qualified, we open the barn back up at 9 a.m. At 9 a.m., you can either, it's going to be 65, 70 degrees. Most guys I know are going to go outdoors to get out of the stinky arena anyways. But again, you can either pit indoors, outdoors, wherever you want to go. Don't pull a 40-foot trailer in there and be the guy that blocks everybody in Dome Arena because then everybody gets excited. But again, you get 6 hours. If you qualified the night before, you get 6 hours. So you will get from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Those times are set. That door's coming up at 9 o'clock in the morning. My skid loader guys will all be here to get you back to your pits. You cannot use the skid loaders anytime in the weekend to bend your cars, fix your cars. I don't have enough for every driver. If all 78 drivers want to use a skid loader, I don't have enough. So no one can use the skid loaders. We'll load you, we'll do all that stuff when we're done. So from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, again, same rules. 3:01, they're back in the open air barn and ready to go for Saturday night. Okay? The guys who come out of the consi, we're guessing you're going to get done about noon. You basically have to the start of the show to try to put those 10 drivers, yeah, there are going to be 10 drivers out of those 58 that have made it. You've been through hell. We get it. You get till the start of the show. You want to do 6 o'clock? Let's do 6 o'clock. Then I have time to get everybody all arranged on that. So you'll have from the time you're done to 6 o'clock. Is that fair for everybody? Okay.
You're assuming that the show's going to be over around noon.
I don't know. It could go till
3:30.
It's 5 heats. We'll rock this thing. I mean, it's going to be, we're going to start it at 10, and there's no show, there's no videos. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 done. We're hoping an hour and a half is the goal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out. If you guys turn it into a big back fest, then I guess you're killing yourselves on your time. So 6 o'clock, we'll call the cutoff. Everybody's stage ready to go for Saturday night. Any questions on the repairs at all? Trust me, if you have questions, come find me. I do not want to hear at 3:01, God, I just didn't know. Hey, you feel bad, I feel bad, and we become a butthole on social media.
You're going to get that anyway.
I know, we always do.
We love you.
Sometime you get that on
Race
video.
fuel. How many guys are planning on buying race fuel for us just so we know how much fuel to have here? Okay. At 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, we have the fire marshal is doing his job. So that fuel will be out of this building. and it will be over in the open air barn. There will be a gated off area. Our guy will be over there at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning to pump fuel. So 10 o'clock, if you need fuel from then on, we'll be over there probably an hour from 10 to 11. It's all 110 race fuel. If you need fuel after that, just come find Candace. She'll radio Bobby. He'll come over there and he'll make sure you're taken care of. We have to keep it enclosed in the fence area. It's got to be in an open air barn. We got a pretty good education to do. So selling fuel is stupid, just so everybody knows. So again, it's $9.50 a gallon. Bear with us. We have to sell it by weight. Typically, it's a mess. So there's going to be a scale. We're going to weigh it. That's how you're going to pay. But trust me, it all comes down to $9.50 a gallon, and we're going to round down. Any questions on the fuel? Ice. There's going to be the ladies right over there. Are going to be selling the ice out of the ice chest. It is $6 a bag. Take as much as you want. They're here all weekend long, anytime except for during the show. Plan ahead. It is 20-pound bags for $6. So plan ahead. Do not come to us on heat number 3 and say, I need ice. There's probably not going to be anybody around here. Plates, repair plates. You have your repair plate rules. Is there anybody who did not get a repair plate rule and repair instructions? Okay. Watch the welds around the plates. Please. Eddie, you paying attention? You good? All right. Oh, Crystal says, you jerks. Okay, the plates again, same spot, same ladies. They'll be selling your plates $2 a piece. Take all you want to. I don't care if you buy 100 plates. They got 1,500 plates over there. So,
do you just have what's here? If I buy them all, does that mean nobody else gets any?
no, you can buy it and go after everybody else got it. Hey, if I have to run to Lincoln, Nebraska and get a bunch of rusty ones out of the barn, I'll do it. So, repair plates. Something we changed on the limited weld class. Unlimited amount of number 9 wire. Okay? But it cannot go or incorporate the drivetrain. We don't want to see it into the drivetrain, around the drivetrain, anything like that. Your plates, we don't care about. Your plates can go anywhere in the car, 3 on the driver's side, 3 on the passenger side. But your number 9 wire can go anywhere in the car except for, am I saying that right? Except for around the drivetrain, basically.
Do we touch the cage, frame? What do you say? Anywhere?
Okay, good point. The number 9 rule still stands of the cage. You cannot incorporate the cage or tie above the cage, below the cage. It's got to be sheet metal to frame. Again, you can use it as a leverage point, and the cage can be used as a leverage point like many drivers did here. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just walk around and look at the cages. The guys who use the cage as a lever, you can do that, okay? But it cannot twist above the cage, below the cage. It cannot incorporate the cage. We are going to walk around from that 3 o'clock time to show time, and we are going to tell you if you have a problem with the number 9 wire. Again, we will just have you cut that out. If it's a misunderstanding on number 9 wire, we'll have you cut it. Okay, that is not a disqualification. We're going to check all the cars before we go on the track at number 9 wire. Plates, if you misuse the plate rule, we're going to try to check for it. We're going to have you show them to us. If there's a plate that's not right, we're going to have you cut it off. If it gets into that track and it's going to get you disqualified afterwards, that sucks. Okay? Do not abuse the plate rule. The plate rule caused me more grief than you could ever imagine. Anybody here is here for the 2-man, the compact, you got stuff mod you want to run through tonight? We're going to stay here till about 11 o'clock to run them through. Retext, again, we're going to stay here till about 11 o'clock to run them through. If you do not want to fix your car tonight, you have till 3 o'clock tomorrow to make it through Retech. Again, does everybody understand that? At 3:05, I don't want a crying mess that we didn't understand. 3 o'clock tomorrow, the cars have got to be through Retech. If you want to lock them down tonight, they're not through Retech, no problem. That barn is closing at 11 o'clock. At 11 o'clock, whatever's in there is in there. We're closing the doors, and security is in there all night long. Unless you have one of those shirts on, the orange shirts on, you're not getting back in that barn for any reason. So should not be anything personal in there, no keys, no wallets. It's just derby cars, no trailers, anything till tomorrow night. Yeah, sign in first for anybody that's in those one-off classes. Sign in first before you come through 10. All the driving rules we'll go through tomorrow night. Again, 1 hour before the show, we'll have a driver's meeting. We'll talk about head-ons and driver's doors and all that fun stuff tomorrow night. Sandbagging, get that out of your dreams tonight. We're going to drive, we're going to hit, and I got a perfect track for you. Big track, so go have fun. Again, here is something that a lot of people, again, haven't understood. The Mad Dog, $5,000. Any class, anytime during the show. You can win that sucker tomorrow night in your heat, $5,000 tomorrow night. Okay? Any class, any heat, across the board. Compact driver wants to Hail Mary 100 times, he may be taking home $5,000.
Just one of those,
Extreme,
right? One Mad Dog?
one Mad Dog. And again, if it's not in the limited world class, do not be offended. Candace and I, we decided this all class thing after we already had the trophy being laser cut. We will re-laser cut it for the class you're in. We'll re-sticker and laser cut it. The Mad Dog trophy's over there. Don't freak out that it says limited world class. We will 100% make that right. So it can be any time.
About this Mad Dog, now let's say that team guy ends up, and then you guys can announce it before the meet you get set up, so you got guys up there commenting.
No, because we don't know that if a two-man guy drives hard, you may have a kamikaze out in the finals that's going to drive harder. And again, if you have a guy that drove hard in the heat and did it again in the feature, he's going to wipe out anybody who's only done it one time. Okay? Huh? Yep. Nobody's going to forget the hard drivers. And again, they will be picked by 3 neutral people that have nothing to do with it. Don't be slipping to smash it, guys. $100 bills. It's not going to be there. Okay. Any other questions before we do the heat drop? We have 78 envelopes. We're going to pick up 8 of them. That's heat 1. 8 of them. That's heat 2. We're going to go right down that. Then tonight, the girls are going to put up big white poster boards, and it'll be all over Facebook, social media, and all that kind of stuff. We're going to post it right away and do all that. So we are going to rock through all of this. Give her some room. Give the lady some room.
Make it rain, Candace. Make it rain. Make it rain. Make it rain.
This is your birthday.
Candace knows what she's doing. There we go. Welcome to Kansas, right?
She said she went to bed. I wasn't there. Yep, okay. We're going to ask one person to pick up 8 random envelopes. Young man in Ace Performance, grab the 8 of them.
So picking 8 to set heat number 1.
Don't get them all out of one spot, Mason. That's a lot of pressure for a gun.
A little advice from the drivers, just trying to help them out. Kelly, you better make sure he's got 8.
That's rough.
Kelly, you had 1, 2, 3, and you're all right counting 8. You good? All right. All right, here is heat number 1. Troy Niemeyer. Justin Booth. Andrew Carmichael. Casey Johnson. Shad Turner. Clint Doherty. Clint Doherty. Skylar Toddy.
Totten.
Ford Christensen.
So heat one,
That is heat
real
number
good heat.
1. Grab the envelopes, buddy.
That's 4. 6, 7, 8. That's 8. Count. 8. You do it as they time.
He's from Kansas. He'll be all right. Jason Abel. Dylan Kunkel. Zach Petro. Jordan Volkner. Gary Miller. Jimmy Johnson. Stephen Neese. Zach Fensky. Okay, let me tell you something about that heat. Stephen Neese and Dylan Kunkel are the 2 on the road. If they are not here by 8 a.m., they will not ride. Okay? So that heat could have 2 less. Don't freak out tomorrow if it does. If those 2 do not make it, that heat will have 2 less. Josh Castaneda, maybe? How do I say it, Josh? Anyways, he's in heat 3. Close enough? Am I close? Not really. Hey, at least I gave your son chicken today, so we're good. I screwed up your name, but I got him chicken and got him something right. Skylar Hopkins. Blake Burgess. Andrew Jennings. Torrey Hyde. Trey Hewer. With the broken foot. Derek Cleveland. Jarek Eddy. That is heat number 3. All right, I got some helpers coming in from the back. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
He's going, what is it? All right, we need to go get 8 of them. Heat number 4, again, we'll have 8 cars in it. Nathan Crump. Bryce Sparks. Hammy Hamilton. Bobby Splain. David Nemo. Tanner Workhoven. Adam Klein. David Wolf. That is heat number 4. Chris Marcourt is typing like a wild man. All right, heat number 5. Hey, Shay Weldon, is your better half? Come up here and drop real quick. Tell your wife to come up here and drop for you. You got this.
Halfway through the heat draw so far, there's some pretty interesting combinations so far.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty wild.
Tanner Workhoven, I'm anxious to see him out there, making his big return.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see. So heat 5 being drawn right now.
Heat 5, again, we'll have 8 cars in it. Trent Goodhart. Tyler Splain. Justin Comer. Kyle Pudwitter. Shan Tree. Josh Turner. Richard Lewis. Cole Jude. And if we miss the pronouncement, we apologize. That's heat 5. Here we go with 6.
How many? 8.
Heat 5 is going to be good heat.
Yeah.
We've
They're
said
all
that.
gonna
We
be-
said it all along.
Yeah. They're basically going to have 10 features to
Yeah,
buy.
10 features. Now, out of
All
that,
right,
you
here
have
we
to
go
pick
heat
2.
number 6. Cody Anderson. Brady Larson. Justin Montgomery. Jeremy Weebush. Mike Bradshaw. Anthony Splain. Dwayne Armstrong. Taylor Harris. That's 6. Here we go with 7. Want to grab the 8 of them? Yep. Kenny Gunn. Justin Yanni. Dookie. Chris Johnson. John Green. Teddy Papadopoulos. Junior Eddie. Cody Eno.
Yikes.
That's heat number 7. Boy, some of these are going to be fun. These are gonna be fun.
There'll be a lot of junk. Quick.
This is the last group of 8 cars right here.
All right, this will be the last heat of 8. Then we go to 2 of 7. Eric Diebel. Chad Sherman. Jeremy Blake. Straighten the mood.
Nick Lewis,
Nick Lewis.
Lance Pritchett,
Lance Pritchett.
Rick Harrison,
Rick Harrington.
Justin Stevens.
Justin Stevens.
Yikes.
Okay, after this next heat. After the next heat, for video purposes, this gentleman came all the way from North Carolina to help us actually make the production side of this as good as it is. We need a little excitement after the next heat draw. So when we get done with the next heat draw, we want to woo-hoo and like excitement. Okay, we don't have to fake it. Just do it for us. Okay. We'll do a. Yeah, we're gonna do a 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay. All right, I need 7 of them. I got it. Yep. Hold my beer. Yep.
Take good now. 7? There's only 7 left. 7 left.
All right, here we go. Heat number 9. Chris Burtbigler. Clayton Holmberg. Shay Walden.
Beautiful wagon for Shay.
Oh, yeah.
Stuart Ord. Preston Robinson. Tanya Hahn. Tyler Miller. All right, Kelly. Okay, I'm gonna need all your help, okay? On a 1, we're gonna go 1. Okay, how's this go? Okay, it's gonna go 1, 2, 3. Woo. Okay? You gonna wait for us, Crystal? 1, 2, 3. Okay, we'll do better in the arena tomorrow night. These guys are really lame right now.
What were the last 2? I missed the last 2 in that heat. Tyler.
All right, we pick up heat number 10. We're going to walk through it just to make sure everybody got through. Don't mess it up, Ted. Shane McWhorter. Mason Hill. John Vogel. Brandon Carpenter. All right, you know who you are. Hershite? Mike Hershite. Don't worry. If you win the event, they'll all know your name, buddy. They'll all know your name. Hey, let's go on the last one, ladies. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Both of you are going to go out of each 1 through 10, and whatever heat you're in, you're in. We're going to just do 9 and 10. We're going to do 9 and 10. We're going to do 9 and 10 because that's where you should be anyway. It should be 8 per heat. Obviously, Miss Candace may have counted it all. Okay. Hey, here's what we're going to do. Right on 2 of those, 9 and 10. Going over, one's going to draw out 1, and that'll determine 9 and 10. So every heat will have 8.
We're gonna need to retech right and left.
Good thing we're breathalyzers.
Oh my goodness. Jeez.
I've never heard of monkeys and footballs and stuff like that. All right, Junior, grab that envelope and open that envelope. Candace, Marie, I don't even know what your middle name is. We're going Marie. It's easy. James Joe. Good call. Junior Cardwell, number 9. All right. Any other questions? All right. Well,
So who went-
meet number 2. We'll be here by 8 a.m. Or I guarantee you they will not look. If you want to be standing at that door at 8 o'clock, you're more than welcome to be.
Okay, so a little bit of information that we got out of that quick drivers meeting. Biggest thing right now, 78 cars have entered the Mad Dog Award, being given $5,000 to any class through the course of the action this weekend. So theoretically, I don't think it's going to be given tomorrow, because given what else we're going to see on Saturday. But nonetheless, that $5,000 could be going home with a compact driver, could be going home with one of the 2-man extreme classes.
$5,000 is a lot of money,
It's a
man.
lot of incentive.
Absolutely.
So Anthony Jackson, following up on his situation, breaking down in Nebraska, he was able to get regrouped, and he's on his way, if he's not already here. I know he was a couple hours out.
They're here.
They've since made it in. There's 2 cars still that need to get here due to major engine problems. So those guys, they've got until 8 a.m. tomorrow to get into Tech Line. Heats 1 through 8 have 8 cars. Heats 9 and 10 have 7. The winners are going to be impounded in the arena. There's 20 cars there from 9 a.m. Saturday on to 3 p.m. They have 6 hours to make their repairs. The consolation cars, they have until the end of Friday night's program. So let's just conceivably say that the show ends at midnight. They have 5 hours from that point to then make all the repairs. At 5 a.m. they're going to be cut off, and they basically have to go to bed. There's nothing else you can do after 5 a.m. So from
What a
there,
night. What a night, though. When he said that, think about it. These guys they've struggled to get here. They've worked all week to get their cars here. You finally get out there and run your heat. It gets done at midnight. You're not going to bed.
No, you're working.
You're bringing your whole crew in the garage, and you guys are going to work till 5 in the morning. So there's going to be some exhausted guys come Saturday.
Yeah, it's there is nothing easy about running in Topeka, man. This is definitely about the.
It's the big dogs, man.
Oh, yeah,
this is
is
national
all
level
about.
big dogs, you know. And you got to think, after not sleeping through an entire night like that, after not sleeping through a whole night like that, how much does that affect your driving? How much does tiredness affect your driving when you have slept? And we've seen in the last bunch of years that we've been here, there's been lots of guys that have been so tired
Oh yeah.
yeah, because
they
they
barely
don't sleep
pull
for
out on the
3 days.
track. Yeah, yeah,
Basically like Chris Marquardt when he's out here.
exactly.
Yeah, I
just
mean, it's
a zombie.
I'm almost an adult when I get out here. Almost a man. Heats let's see. Get back to where we were. Heats. I don't.
There's some really good heats in there.
Yeah, we'll get back to that
It's
stuff.
10
here.
features.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's going to be 10 features. Heats 1 through 8, they're going to have 8 cars. 9 through 10, 7 the consolation rounds. 9 o'clock, they meet back in here to redraw, so not running against the same people. So at that point, we're going to have heats 1 or consolation rounds 1 through 4 will have 12 cars. Consolation round 10 is only round 5 is going to only have 10 cars, and at qualifying 2 from that point. So looking at that, we've got some interesting combinations that we're going to see pairing off after that. But before we do that, let's walk through the heats and see what we're going to see. The 10 from the consolation rounds, they have until the start of the show to get their cars fixed. And there's only 10 cars that are going to be doing those repairs. Limited weld cars, the 9-wire is unlimited. It can't tie into the cage, and it can't go into the drivetrain. However, it can go around the cage as a leverage point to try and get the car to do what you want it to do. So interesting way that some of that stuff is going to play out. Heat number 1 going off is going to be Troy Niemeyer, Justin Booz, Andrew Carmichael, Casey Johnson, Shad Turner, Clint Doherty, Skylar Totten, and Bor Christensen. Bor Christensen having the fire at his shop earlier this week. His dad losing pretty much everything at the shop. So a tough break for him, but nonetheless, they did get the car here. It's going to be a fun one to watch.
He's a crowd favorite. There's a lot of people pulling for him, and like you said, I mean, he went through some tragedy this week, and his dad still made sure he had everything he needed to get here. And he put a post out about how great his dad was helping him, and it was cool. I like seeing that kind of stuff, you know. Father, son, you can never have too much of it, you know.
Not.
And it's cool to know that dads are. My dad was so anti-demolition derby. Just to know that there's dads out there that totally support anything their kids do needs to be more of that. And touching back on a 9-wire real quick, if I can. I know a lot of people are going to be hitting us up saying, like, what were they saying about using it as a leverage point? And that's why this is the national level. When you start looking at these cars out here, the small things they're doing makes a big difference. And a lot of times they're using the cage to pull frame rails in certain directions, steel for certain directions, body mounts in certain directions. It's very interesting. And the game of 9-wire is a whole game in its own.
Well, that's the thing, is we've touched on it before, is that, you know, when you get to this level, you're not gonna find one huge thing to get over on somebody else to get an advantage. So you have to find 3, 4, 5, 6 small things, and add them up in order to, you know, try to get that competitive edge. You know, that's really what it's all about. So
all the quality, almost every car we're going to see is going to have super great quality to these build rules. So like you say, Brian, what is it that turns you from everybody else to those rules? And it is that small stuff.
Yep, without a doubt.
And we've learned that here. What makes the same guys in the winner's circle all the time here, right? It's that exact thing. It's exactly, is it his? It's exactly people doing the small things.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
And like one of the guys I'll just throw out there is Jimmy Johnson, right? Jimmy's always down in at the end. Well, if you talk to him, that guy really understands these rule sets.
Oh, absolutely.
Where he can push and where he can't.
Yep.
Go ahead. Keep talking.
I'm sorry. You're listening to me?
Keep talking.
Yeah, so I don't know. I like the unlimited 9-wire. You just can't tie it to your drivetrain, which there's a lot of things you could do with that. I'll let you guys think about that. But remember, tranny braces and cradles in here, so you start wrapping 9-wire and pulling it in different directions, you can add strength for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Pete Hansen was the first one to teach me that. I learned a lot from looking inside Pete's with unlimited 9-wire.
Right. Yeah, no kidding.
And you can't hook it to the cage.
Yeah.
Because as we all know, you can, from a cage.
In terms of hooking it to the cage, you know, you could use that to help hold up whole frame rails.
Well, and what these guys are doing is they're making them so many wraps that it actually becomes, not only are you using it as a pull, but you're also using it as a push because it becomes a rod.
Yep.
It's so thick, it becomes a 1-inch piece of rod.
Yep, absolutely.
These guys got them so tight that frame can't go up or down.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And the rule here is your 9-wire has to hook to sheet metal, which I like the rule because the sheet metal is still going to bend and twist and rip and all that, you know. But when you're hooking to a cage to a frame rail, those are two really stout pieces that can make some. You're adding kickers. You're adding down bars. You're adding kickers. I mean,
absolutely.
We've seen some really cool ideas with 9-wire.
Yeah, we have. I'm looking forward to going out tomorrow and walking around, checking the cars out. We unfortunately didn't get to check that stuff out today, but tomorrow I'm definitely looking forward to going out there and checking some stuff out.
Well, we've got a bunch of people saying that we're completely unintelligible, and now they've begun to start arguments, which is awesome. That's cool. Trying to juggle all of our plates on the stick. So, just following up now with heat number 2. Get back to that point. Jason Abel, Dylan Kunkel, and Zach Petro both out there. Jordan Polkmer, good to be in that one, along with Gary Miller, Jimmy Johnson, Steve Neese, and Zach Fensky out there. So,
Crazy hard heat.
I mean, you got to pick two. Pick two.
No. Who's working together? That's what's really going to come down to, right, Brian? I mean, we're going to see some heats where our 3 and 4 guys are working together to be the majority in the heat. It's interesting. But then what do you do when you're down to your 3 and your 4? Where's the pecking order?
Do you hope that, you know, you get down there and then do 2 guys shut off so they have enough to go to the consi and battle?
And is there anybody pulling the heat saying, I'm just laying over and going right to the consi? Do you lay right over and take your fresh, clean car into a
car with plates?
Do you
with a limited 9-wire?
Is there anyone looking at their heat saying, I don't know if I can make it through this? Do I just lay over? You know?
You got no business being here if you don't think you can get through your heat.
Great point.
Right?
And
we've talked about that a million times.
But it's also a business decision. 'Cause
Right.
There's some people here that want to walk away with $10,000.
That's a
Yeah, that's a great point
You know
too.
what I mean?
Yes,
It's
it
a
is.
business decision.
There's a lot
Yes,
of people
it
that
is.
are worried about that
you look at the
10,000.
business and you say, okay, I know I have a stout car. I get to add 6 fix-it plates.
Yes.
And unlimited 9-wire. Take it back out in the consi.
Exactly, Brian.
And then add more 9-wire after the consi.
Brian's on to something.
So I mean, it's
Well, look at all the years ago. One of the first 2 years we were here, Jimmy Johnson at Blizzard Bash, his team laid over one of the divisions, one of the first runs of the weekend, and still
Let me
made
jump
it.
in quick.
Go.
Don't forget your plates.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
plates is
absolutely.
huge. And unlimited 9-wire.
absolutely.
But one time Jimmy's team laid over and still made it through the feature with that exact mentality that Brian's saying is, hey, the first round is going to be too hard on our cars. Lay over, go to the second round, and duke it out the rest of the weekend.
Well, that was one of the years where they only had 3 guys, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Which I think every year he's only had 3 guys,
I
right?
think the last 2 years has been the first time he's had 4 people on his team.
It's... Yeah, I don't know.
Well, heat number 3, Josh Castenda, I think was how we were saying that one. Skylar Hopkins, Blake Burgess, Andrew Jennings, Torrey Hyde, Trey Hewer, Derek Cleveland, and Jarek Eddy in heat number 3.
Trey Hewer's got to be a crowd favorite, younger guy, but knows this rule set really well and knows how to run this division exactly
Oh, exactly.
with his old man. So,
Right.
and his old man's in a later heat. I'm going to say in that heat, to me, that's going to be one of the top guys to watch.
Yep, no doubt.
Heat number 4, Nathan Crump, Bryce Sparks, Henry Hamilton, Bobby Splain, David Demo, Tanner Workhoven. We said we can't wait to see Tanner,
Tanner,
run.
yes.
That'd be
Just
cool.
get back out there. Adam
Yes.
Klein, we've seen Adam Klein do well here before.
Yep.
And David Wolf also out there in the mix.
Dave's car we saw as we were pulling in, and man, that thing looks good. There's some really clean stuff and some clamshell wagons, which everyone's going to be excited about. Everyone loves watching clamshells. You either love them winning or getting pillar parked. So one way or another, you love them.
Right. It's here nor that. Look how big that track is.
That track is huge.
We're gonna get a
Oh
chance to
my
go walk
gosh.
around a little bit and see
It's
what
nasty
there is
big.
to see.
Okay, Ben's eyes are wide. So
Ben's eyes
you
are
know,
big?
you know that track is big. You know that track is big. It looks exciting, man.
Almost too big.
410s? We have 456s. We
You're going to
switched
be
them
floating the valves by mid-track.
Float them. Float them right out.
Hope
Let's
they
hear how
got
that
good
440 sounds.
Just the way this is gonna go, huh?
Yep.
Just what you're working with.
I can't wait.
We up to heat number 5. Heat number 5. Trent Goodhart, Tyler Splain, Justin Comer, Kyle Puddlewitter, Shan Trebe, Josh Turner, Richard Lewis, and Cole Jude.
Oh, Shan Trebe does awesome here every time. Going to be absolutely one to watch. Who else do we have in that? Pull that back up. And Kyle Puddlewitter. I mean, Kyle Puddlewitter is absolutely got a great chance of winning Mad Dog.
Oh, absolutely.
If I would put him in contentions before the week starts.
Yep, no doubt.
And he is going to be junking stuff. And remember, in a heat of 8, only take 2. You're not really knocking a lot of guys out. I mean, Kyle Puddlewitter is going to be the guy that goes out there wide open, knocking guys out to get to the finals. He's not going to be the guy waiting for people to die. He's going to be the one knocking guys out.
Without a doubt.
That's just his style.
Heat number 6 is going to be Cody Anderson, Brady Larson, Justin Montgomery, Jeremy Weebush, Mike Bradshaw, Anthony Splain, Dwayne Armstrong, and Taylor Harris. Justin Montgomery going to be the one to watch there.
Chicken is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And Chicken, speaking with Jimmy Johnson, Chicken's ready. Chicken feels he's due. So and I think he's right. I mean, they're a good group of guys there. So in that heat, that's going to be a tough one to beat. Chicken.
Heat number 7, Kenny Gunn, Dustin Yanni, former champion at Blizzard Bash, Dookie Scroach, Chris Johnson, John Green, Teddy Papadopoulos, Junior Eddie, and Codiano. I think heat number 7 is the toughest heat.
I mean, Teddy Papadopoulos, same as Puddlewitter, he's going to be laying the fist, absolutely hitting, junking people. I don't know, there's a lot of good cars in that heat too. That's number 7 might be one of the best ones of the weekend. I agree. I would not want to pull heat number 7.
No, you don't want any part of that. Heat number 8, Eric. I had his name earlier and I lost it. Shoot. Eric, what happened there? Eric Demo in that one, leading the charge. Chad Shatterman, Jeremy Blake, Creighton DeMuth, Nick Lewis, Lance Pritchett, Rick Harrington, and Justin Stevens. Rounding it out.
Okay, Lance Pritchett, I mean, maybe one of the best in the country.
Maybe. He's another past champion of Blizzard Bash.
He is absolutely one of the best drivers in the country.
No.
That's going to be a tough heat, too.
Heat 9, Chris Burkbigler, Clayton Holmberg, Shea Walden, Stuart Orth, Preston Robinson, Conyer Hahn, Junior Cardwell also in that one. And then we had one driver that we were missing from the initial rundown. His first name was Tyler, but I missed that one.
Shea Walden, like you said, you chimed in there saying that wagon was crisp looking, and boy, did it look good.
Yeah. Heat number 10, Shane McCorder, Rob Ewer, Mason Hill, John Vogel, Randy Carpenter, and Mike Kershipe, I believe was the
And
name
again,
of
just
the
like we're saying with Trey, Rob Hewer is going to be absolutely the one to beat in that class. He's great at these rules. The guy can drive amazing. His builds are amazing. Rob is going to be the toughest one to beat there. John Vogel's really good in that heat also. Yeah. You know, there's some good cars in that heat.
Yes. I still think Heat 7 and 8 are going to be the ones to watch.
And remember, 9 and 10, they're down to, 7 cars in the heat. You only take in 2. You only got to knock out 5 guys. I don't know. With heats that small, I like them back home because you just start politicking. You just start politicking and you get your numbers up and you can get through your heats a little bit easier. And I think we're going to see some of that. Doing some politicking? Okay, Rob's out of the game. A veteran, wily veteran right there. Smart.
Politicking, not bad, huh?
Yep. So tomorrow's going to be some really good action.
Oh, yeah. The worst part is we got to wait till 7 o'clock tomorrow to see anything rock.
We're going to be busy tomorrow. We're going to work together with some of the folks from Race Feed X and from Pit Row Video that made the trip out to come and hang out and take this in. So we're going to be working with production then. And then everything goes live at 6 o'clock, hour before the start of the show, 7 o'clock, start time for cars on the track. 10 heats tomorrow is the game plan. What do you think?
I think they're going to be fast-paced. Yeah. I'm telling you, if you're listening right now, you need to watch tomorrow night. I know that everyone will say, like, well, I should watch the features. I'm telling you, these heats are going, and there's some of the best drivers in the country. I'm telling you. It'll be really great chess matches out there. Who sticks together? Who fights? Where does animosity come back? Yeah. You know, where's the Blizzard Bash fights coming back?
Who throws the first big punch? Who goes to the first knockout? You know what I mean?
And as we've discussed here, when you get to this level of driving, sometimes they don't like mad dogs.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And when there's a guy out there that is just sending it, the rest of them drivers are smart enough to say, done with this guy. He is not going to be taking bad shots on me, because all of us know if you take one bad shot in a derby, that could be the bad shot that ruins your day.
Yep.
No one wants that bad shot. So as you see guys picking up the pace, I anticipate guys saying, no, shut those guys right down.
Yeah.
Get rid of that.
So some of your mad dogs like Kyle Pudwitter, those kind of guys, Teddy, are guys going to come after them because they just don't want to take bad shots from them? Interesting to see.
Well, it's the idea of boxing. You don't give a heavy puncher room to throw it.
Right.
You want to stay on top
stay
of
close.
them, hold them.
Great analogy.
And it's is that going to happen tomorrow? Are guys going to try to bump and grind and rub the guys that they know are going to be looking to knock people out? And it's going to be interesting to see.
I don't know. This area is not really the bump and grind style.
No, but
there's a lot of bump and grind drivers. I know what you're saying in those.
Absolutely.
I don't know. It's going to be fun to watch.
Sure should be. We're going to be right back here again at 6 o'clock tomorrow. We're going to be doing a bunch of work tomorrow during the day, so keep an eye on the Crash Course page. Keep an eye on the Ultimate Derby pages as well. There's going to be all sorts of stuff coming out on those lines. The inspection is going to run here until 11 o'clock, so we've got about 3 hours or so left that they're going to be teching cars here. Then everything's going to break up, and from there, we're going to be ready for action. We'll keep you posted. Again, Fantasy League teams are going to be open until tomorrow around noon. And you can also jump online. You can get your orders in for your pay-per-view feed on DerbyNation.tv. What do you think? That going to do it for tonight?
Put a fork in it. Let's go set up. Let's go set up in our house.
Yeah, we gotta get registered at the hotel, and we got to get all this stuff moved upstairs. So we'll go get some stuff moved around. That's going to do it for us here trackside. Looking forward to the launch of tomorrow's first round of qualifying. 10 heats, 78 cars, and we're only taking 20 of them to the feature. We'll see you tomorrow night right around 6 o'clock. We'll see you then.
The Crash Course Podcast is brought to you in part by DerbyParts.com. Overkill Derby products at OverkillDerby.com. Full Lockwood Motorsports and the 2015 Keystone Nationals. Sciopa Racing and SciopaRacing.com. Ultimate Derby and Blizzard Bash 2015. Demo Derby Masters. Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel at RecklessAbandonGear.com. And Derby Inc. Magazine. Live it, Breathe it, be it, Derby Inc. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast.